right there.
Oh,
you can see the back of it and the front of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You find somebody who doesn't have an ID and I'll pay to get them an ID.
Yes.
I said, you know, that's my pledge to you.
Hi, Tim. How you doing?
Not bad. How about you?
I'm doing great. I'm with Priscilla. Well, you're in here for the first time with Tim, right?
First time.
First time? How long have you been stacking?
I just started. I have my first 2 gold eagles.
Oh, let me
1
see.
ounces. Right there.
Oh,
you can see the back of it and the
nice.
front of it. Yeah.
Very
So,
cool.
Very excited.
What got you into it?
Just seeing what's going on and trying to protect my money. It's not even an investment thing. It's just more like just protecting it, you know, instead of keeping it in the banks or...
Yeah, you were telling me you were having some hassles with the bank recently.
Yes, yeah. When my eyes were starting to see what's going on, I wanted to pull out some money from the bank. And I got such an attitude, it got me even confirmed more why I should really take it out. And it wasn't even all of it, but just the attitude itself was like, whoa, okay. But now I know where I can start putting it in. And this is just one of the many places. I'm also investigating other places to diversify the portfolio, but I'm starting with a goal.
How'd you find Tim?
So there's this guy called Yankee stacking. As I was researching all this gold and silver stacking, you actually kept popping up a lot towards now most recently. And I said, you know what, it's worth looking into. And then Tim happened to be in one of your many interviews and I realized he's not too far from where I live. And I said, why not?
That's great. Wow. I appreciate it. Actually, you got to give Priscilla a sticker too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. And just listening to Tim talking, like I said, I was like, we have the same mind. We're thinking the same way.
I'm so
about
glad.
life, not even about gold or anything. And I said, see, that's somebody I want to be on the same page with when you're dealing with also stacking, and why not?
He is full of wisdom, and it's not just when it comes to precious metals either. He's got a lot of knowledge there.
I've seen the people that are asking me to run for some kind of office, and I'm like...
Well, they wouldn't tolerate me because I'm an ultra mega. Ultra mega. I'm proud to be working every day to make America great.
Yes.
That's what an ultra mega is.
I'm with you there, believe me. And people look at me and do a double take and they're like, what? What is wrong with you? And of course we know why. It's because I'm supposed to be voting a certain way, but I don't vote that way. I am considered a traitor.
Oh, you're not a traitor. You're a true. I love your t-shirt too, by the way.
Oh, yes.
That's great. Oh, nice.
I love, this is another way. This is where it starts. God first, and then he guides your life and he shows you the truth of things, you know?
Amen.
That's the basic. You stand on truth, nobody can fool you. Okay, so I'm getting of the same thing. 1 ounce gold eagles. Yeah, and I'm ready because actually I wanted to see how much they were, like what your price is.
Okay, yeah, it depends on the market, and let me just make sure.
Get ready for ST Bullion's Monster Box Sweepstakes that includes 500 Silver Eagles. You could be the next lucky recipient of a phone call like this.
This is Dr. Tyler Wall, CEO of SD Bullion. Well, I'm calling you to let you know that you won the SD Bullion giveaway of a Monster Box of Silver Eagles.
So click the link below for your chance to win.
So from all the research, when I say research, it's just conversations like yours, even your own videos about how you started and stuff, and the value of each coin, which one is actually, like this one is most recognizable, so even when you're ready to sell it, it's really, it authenticates itself just by being like a, federal mint?
Right. It's a government minted gold bullion coin that definitely has a lot of credibility behind it.
Yes.
And recognizability. It's the reason I purchased them back when I got my Yankee cannon back in 2009. It was gold American Eagles. But, you know, there are other gold options too that are also very recognizable and very trustworthy. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you can even get bars, but I do like the coins.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what I'm actually starting at with coins.
You're not planning on selling them?
No, not
anytime
anytime soon.
right?
No,
Okay.
no. This is something I just want to secure.
Right.
And then,
Protect your wealth.
yes, yeah.
Yeah, and the buying power.
Really, really. And
Yeah.
I can even see it for the future for my child, like, you know. I was telling somebody, actually my own sister, who I'm trying to educate her about this, and I said, remember, this is not about a quick buck, okay? Like, this, think long term. Look at you. Oh, I got the marks. Yeah, because I understood the whole thing. This quick, you know, getting like a day traders or whatever they're called, not knocking them down, by the way.
Right.
I'm just saying that think long term, and then you're not emotional about it. You're just really going in like, okay, this is what I'm doing for the future.
You have a preference for type 2 or type 1?
So I just learned about type 1. Type 1 is because of the reverse side, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, the reverse
okay.
is the eagle landing at an S.
So because I already have this one, that one.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
When this coin first came out, they really confused people.
Yeah.
They put the date in Roman numerals. You can see how long the date is.
Oh my word.
Okay, yeah.
You can't even see, you need a loop. Is that what it's called, a loop?
That's right, because it's very small.
Yes.
But also you need to understand
The Roman numerals, yeah. Not many people are taught those anymore, I don't think. Yeah.
Still a St. Gaudens fan. We came up with the original.
Yeah.
But I say the new one it's about 50-50. Okay. And I think it's not that well received for the silver eagle type 2.
The new one
Yeah.
is not okay.
Yeah, I'm surprised
Not a big
because,
seller.
you know, from an artistic standpoint, I think that was very well done too. So, but it's coin, so there are a lot of compromises when you make a coin. You know, it has to strike properly. It has to make so many per set of dies.
Okay.
And I think they had some problems with the original design or the new design back in the beginning when they did the tests.
Yeah.
But the artists, I think, did a great job on both of them.
Okay, okay. So for someone who's just thinking long term, really,
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, yeah. Because again, I was also telling my sister, don't think about like Star Wars coin, you know. Blah, blah, blah. Like, this is not a hobby; it's business, and it's
right now. There's no difference in the price between them. In the silver, the Type 1 last year was struck in a very small amount. So that one held a higher price. I think even that's going to go away. Okay. Because as the price of silver goes down or up, they all become the same.
So you're getting a second one.
Yeah, actually, I came with the mind to do that.
Well, maybe if we keep you here longer, you'll get a third. I don't know, I didn't like that. I found it interesting, too, when you said that you don't look at this as a hobby, and you're not trying to get any semi-numismatic type of silver or gold. You're looking for just the weight and some recognizability and trust mixed in there, right?
Yes, because that otherwise you might as well just do the hobby thing. It's a long-term thing. Like I said, and
not a get rich quick.
Nope.
And you're not looking to flip it, you know, buy it. No, you don't really care about it as from a collector standpoint, right?
No, my eyes started opening from this whole pandemic thing. My eyes were open to like the overreach of the government to the point of now this is not even your business and you're making it your business. I have seen things that I was so blind to, and I've said, you've been sleeping, because it never really affected me until it affected me. And what a way to think, well, you should be aware no matter if it's touching you. Do you feel like it's losing its conservative, how do you say
this is a very conservative state.
Really?
Okay? A very conservative state. In 1996, the Democrats in the legislature passed a Voting Rights Act, okay, where you don't need a voter ID, and you can show up on the day of the election and vote. Okay. And you know, oh yes, you've got to be legally registered, blah blah blah. But if you're registering and voting at the same time, How do you control that?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. They got it through the legislature in 1996. We have not had a provable fair election since 1996. The basic
the principle is still
philosophy
there.
when they came up with this country, which is still the greatest country in the history of the world.
Amen.
It was that every single ballot must be conclusively tied to a living, breathing, legally registered voter. Now, when you have mail-in balloting and you have ballot boxes on every street corner, how do you do that?
No,
How do you verify
yeah.
or conclusively tie every ballot to a living, breathing, legally registered voter?
Yeah.
Or online electronically. Imagine that.
Yeah, that's a joke.
And that's what I'm saying. It makes sense. Connected to some, like, it's really somebody is voting.
And anybody,
it's a person,
anybody who doesn't agree with that is complicit. Well, we just had a case where it was Martha Fuller Clark. I don't know if you remember, she had 24 people registered to vote from her house. Okay, 24 people. She lives alone. And so they were sued. The Republican Party took it to court.
Yeah.
They moved the case to a newly appointed Democrat judge. What do you think his conclusion was?
Well, now,
in our Constitution, New Hampshire Constitution, you can vote if you're legally domiciled in New Hampshire. You have to have a domicile. That is, where you live.
Oh,
and
okay.
you maintain a place here.
all right.
The conclusion of this case was your domicile is wherever you happen to be on election day.
Now, what is
No matter where you're from.
I'm not sure if I'll ever live to see another election where people aren't going to say on one side or the other, it's all fake, it's a fraud, and I don't trust it.
I just,
Well, but it can be prevented. That's the thing. I mean, fraud can be prevented.
Yeah.
And what I think it was John Roberts explained to the Trump people after the last election. They're there a month after the election, trying to get the results overturned, based on the fact that I guess the governor and the attorney general decided to change the voting laws. Okay. Well, that's not their job. They don't have the right to do that. It's the right of the legislature to establish voting laws, okay? But here they are saying, well, this was done, this is unconstitutional. Roberts basically explained to them, okay, you want us to overturn an election based on something that was unconstitutional 2 years ago. Well, yeah. Okay, so why didn't you come here 2 years ago? And he said, and this is similar to the voting machines case, okay? And he said further, who's the injured party? Well, we are. No, the injured party is the Pennsylvania state legislature. Where are they? Now, everybody's, oh, John Roberts, he's a turncoat, he's a rhino, whatever, But logic is logic. Okay, that's logic will win out every time. Republicans need to understand after the election is not the time to try to redress a wrong.
It's before.
It's long before.
Yes.
I mean, there's stuff going on. Every state needs to tighten up its voting laws now, or if they haven't already done it, they need to do it now.
And that's not racist. That is being a patriot and loving this country and the Constitution and the way our founders set it up.
Every legal ballot has to be counted. Every single one.
My first voting, I had just become a citizen, and it was the last election, and I was so psyched. I'm like, finally, because you can't vote when you have a green card, only you have to be a citizen. And I go, and I march, and I stand in line. I even took a picture of myself before, and oh my, all that's like ended. As I'm standing here, it says, no ID required. I'm looking around, and you're right. Nobody wants to say something. I'm trying to strike up and I'm not a troublemaker, but I said, why? And then this guy didn't even want to make eye contact. Like, I don't want any trouble. I'm here to vote. And everybody is showing their ID. I had mine too. So what is that about? What is that? To protect you, and you're right, it's not racist. How do I drive around or have a life without an ID? Oh my gosh, I can't. So first time voter, and I was crushed, and you're right, it needs to be change now, because it kills the morale for people who are patriotic. It just kills it, and you just like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. But then the more you kind of shy away, they gain more power because they're getting their way.
It's shocking, but this goes on in every precinct in New Hampshire. Every precinct.
Goodness.
In every state.
You can't convince these people that we should have fair elections. You can't convince them. You say, you know, everybody must have a voter ID. And I said this when we were discussing this. I said, you find somebody who doesn't have an ID and I'll pay to get them an ID. I said, you know, that's my pledge to you. Don't tell me about, you know, well, if we have the voter ID, you know, the minorities will be forced to count jelly beans in a jar.
That offended me. Who are they talking about? I have an ID. Everybody I know in my family has an ID. All my black friends have IDs. I was like, how do you exist in this world without an ID?
It's an excuse.
In fact, I started thinking before I even knew what they were really talking. I thought it was a special ID until I realized, oh no, they're really talking about an ID. You go to the RMV, DMV, whatever, you get it. And they started saying it's racist to even demand. And I said to myself, that is racist even to think that they can't even afford, you know, get an ID. That in itself is racist.
It's a talking point. Yes. It doesn't matter. It's always race. It's always race.
Oh, I've been called racist, by the way, just because of how I vote. And
Isn't that sad?
No,
of all the people, for you to be called that?
Yes.
Because of how you vote.
And even sometimes I don't even say who I'm voting for. It's just a logical, when I say things like, it's not racist to have an ID. That in itself, they say, wait a minute. And to be honest, there's a few people waking up. Yes. But again, I don't associate with a lot of that nonsense people. I really can't, because it does not make sense. And then they're preaching to me, trying to sell their junk about racism to me, who supposedly I'm supposed to have experienced these things. And I tell them all the time, I've been in America 20 plus years. I have never faced racism. I don't even know how it would look like. Really. I tell them, how would you know even if it's a racism? And it's usually things like, oh, you know, when somebody's rude to you. I'm like, oh, that's how far you've fallen, that someone can be rude to you, and that's all it is about. It's just racism. It's not about him being a jerk. Or so when I say that I've never experienced it, they are shocked because they see it everywhere. And like I said, it's a slave mentality. You're stuck in something that never affected you, but you have convinced yourself that everything that I am failing at, I gotta blame somebody. And because I am black, I have to blame the white man. And I was born in Kenya, in my country where the independence was 1963. That's a young country. Yes. And we don't even think that way. We don't go around saying, oh, the British colonialists, oh, this. No, you're just there to survive. You go make money, you live your life. But here is when I realized I was black. I never knew I was black until I came here, because somebody was telling me, you're black and you are oppressed. Well,
as you finish up your transaction here, Priscilla, I just want to thank you so much for obviously coming in here and buying gold, but also with your incredible words of wisdom there too. I really appreciate that a lot. I
am so grateful that I got to to meet you, first of all, to meet Tim, to get my business done very efficiently, and just everything has worked out. And just to meet people who are like-minded, meaning just truth. Just follow that logic where it's going. And if it falls off a cliff, really, it doesn't make sense. Think for yourself.
Think for yourself. Thanks a lot, Priscilla.
Thank you. Yeah.
Right. Do you have any more of those buffaloes, gold buffaloes, or are they gone?
I do. I believe I have to send out 4, maybe 5, and I think the total I have is 4 or 5.
So maybe 1?
I may have 1.
Could you?
Yeah, let me take a look.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to fall afoul of the Ministry of Truth just yet.
Just yet. Slabbed. First strike.
3. That's 4.
5.
So I guess number 6 would be that one.
Oh. So one of these is still available.
That's true. I thought you were just going to come in and take a Dremel tool and cut that out of there and be all set.
No, but I'd have to pay more for that one, wouldn't I?
Well, because you're a good guy, I probably wouldn't charge you too much more.
Really? Well, I want to...
It is a 70, though, isn't it?
But it's a modern bullion. Is it really? I mean, if somebody brought that in to sell you, would you go, sell to you? Would you go, oh,
Nope.
you know, 70 and oh, I got to give
I
you.
would probably pay the same as I would from these in the original packaging.
There you go. So no, I don't want it. I'd rather just get something like that. Why are you taking them out?
Because they were in a stapled 2x2s. And I don't like having staples anywhere near gold coins.
I like that. Yeah, that's cool. All right. Take care, man. See ya.
Thank you very much.